Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Journey Back with Tiffany Hunt. Today is, well, it's almost Friday, so I'm extremely late with this post today. Um, and I want to first start off by apologizing to you guys for no video last week. As you can see, I didn't, take any time to zhuzh it up. It is extremely late at my house. Everyone is sleeping. So I'm having an opportunity to speak with you guys tonight. Last week I just had some personal stuff. My son was not feeling well. And, when a baby is not feeling great, well, I'm in mommy mode all the time anyway. But my baby was not feeling great. And so, of course, that also adds to less sleep than the lack of sleep that I already was getting. So I just wanted to come and talk to you guys about something that's kind of been on my mind and constantly in my face. And I think that we need to have a conversation about, as you guys can see by the title, I'm talking today about tolerance, a tolerance policy. Um, a lot of us are, we're less tolerant, we're less considerate, we're less empathetic to those that have different issues than us. So, for instance, as an example, if you are a person that has weight problems, you're more likely to be empathetic or sympathetic to someone that is having that same issue. Um, or if you're a person that's bulimic, you're more likely to be sympathetic to someone else that has that same problem. But for those that don't have that issue, like if a person's problem is weight, it can be weighed in different ways. Like for instance, let me give you this example. If you are an overweight person at a gym, and you're next to someone that's small, and see you may be trying to lose weight and they're trying to gain weight, and you can't comprehend from an experience point of view, and in some ways you don't have the same level of empathy or even tolerance for their complaints or their frustration because you can't relate to it. And you feel like, well, what's your problem? You skinny, and they're like, well, what's your problem? You should just eat more salad, or you should just, make better food choices. And so we are less tolerant of people with problems that don't look like ours. I find that people that even work with the public get agitated and frustrated. And I mean, it's not easy working with a lot of different personalities. Everybody has their stuff. It is challenging to find common ground at times, and be empathetic to people when they're not dealing with the same issue as you are. Like, of course, excuse me, guys. I don't know why, but every time I get on here, my nose starts itching. and but what I've noticed is people that are dealing with the public and, have means where they're talking and engaging with the public all the time, they are easily agitated and irritated with their exchanges because they feel like, I've already given you the information, or why didn't you absorb the information like I did? Or, and even if you can identify the person's problem, you still are not empathetic to the fact that, okay, they haven't grown to where you are. That's part of why they're coming to you anyway. And so you're not giving them space. And I understand it's necessary to create boundaries and to protect yourself, especially in this era of social media, because people are so easily accessible. You're more easily accessible to people that don't know you or don't have a personal relationship with you. So it is necessary, shoot, even in personal relationships, it's really imperative and necessary to create boundaries, to set rules, to have conversations, to, continue, you know, um, to continue to speak about those boundaries and to make those boundaries well known and well understood by others. But it is not necessary to, when you're exchanging with people and when people are supporting your vision and supporting what you do, it's for me, I think it is, excuse me, I think it is a great idea to, I mean, even if, no matter how, no matter if you need to deliver and tell them, something that they may not like, it's all in how you deliver. You don't have to be mean or be rude to people because they are coming to you in a way that it is annoying to you or frustrating to you. And, maybe 10 people did it that day or 5 people did it, but it was the 10th person that got the brunt of what the other 9 did. And I do understand that we all have growing to do. We all have areas that we need to develop in, so this is not, goodness gracious, I don't know what's going on with my nose, guys. I'm so sorry. Um, and so I just don't know why it is that we um, are not considerate of other people, or we're not as nice. Like, we don't have to be mean. We can be blunt and we can be direct, but we don't have to be mean. And I know I'm not always nice. I mean, nobody is nice 100% of the time. And I know there are things that, and it's true, maybe people that, are more direct or are more blunt, maybe live in a space where they are less stressed, I guess, or less frustrated because everything that comes to their head or comes to their thoughts, they get off of their chest. And maybe I'm just too heady, but I try my best to be as considerate and handle people in a manner in which I would want to be handle them with a level of respect and appreciation for them supporting my vision. Like, you guys don't have to listen to me on YouTube. You don't have to support my videos. You don't have to share my videos. You don't have to give me your time. And I'm understanding as I get older, time is a hot commodity. If I'm giving you any of my time, if I'm setting aside any of my time to speak with you or to engage with you, then you should be grateful and you should respect my time and take advantage of what I'm offering and what I'm giving, because I understand what I'm offering and what I'm giving is extremely necessary and it is extremely valuable. And all I'm saying today is I think that we should be more tolerant of each other. We should be nicer to each other. We should be more loving to each other. And we should be warm. And I know warm is not everybody's temperature. It's not everybody's personality to be nice and fuzzy. And some people feel like, they need that level of shock value in order to make a point, in order to make an impact. And it really isn't necessary. And for some people, that's how they have created, I guess, the space or gotten people to come in, and then their personality is something different, when you're engaging with them one on one or when you're engaging with them in person. And so I just think that it is extremely important for us to be nicer to each other. Be nice to your children. Be nice to your husband, to your family members, because those are the people that care about you, and we spend time with people day to day. Some people go out into the marketplace and work. Right now, I don't go out into the marketplace and work. I am home with my 11-month-old and managing my house, not as well as I would like to. I'm working on it, I'm making progress, but I'm still adjusting to being a mom of two, even though next week I can't believe it. My baby, well, I can believe it. My baby is going to be 1 years old. And so going from one kid to two kids is a lot, and I don't have family support. I don't have someone that I could just drop my kid off to. Well, I can't say 100% that I don't have that. I can say that I'm not so easy to drop my kid off to just anyone. And I've made some connections, and some things have fallen through. And so, in order for me to be able to rest or have that level of comfort, I need to build, some stronger bonds and create a community. I do have that understanding. But as of right now, I don't have a solid person that I could take my child to, the 11-month-old anyway, and get a second. And so it's a lot. And I'm working on managing it. Sometimes it is extremely heavy. Um, and my ancestors are helpful. The tools that I have are helpful, and sometimes I don't use all of my tools. I don't use all of my assets. I don't use everything that is available to me, and so I suffer the consequences. And all of us are guilty of that. Having resources, having tools, having people available to us, but not taking advantage of what we have and complaining about what we don't have rather than looking at what it is that we do have and the wealth of resources and the wealth of community that is available to us. And so we have to sometimes look at our situation or look at the people that we have, the resources that we have, whatever it is. Resources not is not always financial. Sometimes resources is okay, I can lean on this person for emotional support, or I can reach out to that person for this kind of support, or I can go to this person for that. And so with things changing, it is a process in order to be able to do things well. And sometimes we measure well by what someone else is doing. Someone else may be able to manage this, in their sleep. I'm not one of those people. I'm not in there yet. I am not extremely rigid in my day to day. You cannot set a clock by me. You cannot say, okay, at such and such time, Tiffany is going to be doing this, or at this time, Tiffany is going to be doing that. I don't know that that is my desire to get there, but I do desire to get to a place where time is not a factor, as one of my mentors would say, where I don't feel rushed for time. I don't feel stressed for time. Um, I guess it's my allergies because my nose is a little bit itchy. Um, so I am working on it. I am making progress every day. And sometimes, honestly, I regress, and go back to old habits. I am changing my family's diet, and we're making progress in that area. And, there are lots of changes happening. And for me, I am a connoisseur of information, and I don't just want to be a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of information. I don't want to hold on to it, which is part of the reason why I do these videos and share, because I know that I have information that people need. I know that what I'm doing, people need it, and sometimes people don't understand or grasp, or even understand what their needs are, because they have been programmed and trained to see other things as more important or more necessary. Most of us don't make the necessary investments in our spiritual life, in our personal life, when it comes to relationships with ourselves, relationships with our children, with our kids, and these are things that I have said. This is redundant. Some of it is redundant information, but it is important for me to continue to repeat it and continue to say it, because we need deprogramming. We need to be reprogrammed and recalibrated. Like, some of us could just use lobotomies, where our brain is taken out and we get a whole new brain because the one we have is not operating at optimal level. It is not working properly. It is not serving us well. What characteristics, do others have that require you to, that well, don't require you, that cause you to be less tolerant? Because I find, that there are times when, even when someone does have the same challenges that I have, because they're doing something that's annoying to me, rather than me having control over my own spirit and over my own being and saying, okay, ancestors, when this person comes into my space, or they call my phone, or I know they're going to cross my path, or I see them across the room, help me not to be controlled by who they are and allow them to disrupt my being, because you're giving the other person power and control over your being. So, okay, something that they did is pissing you off or making you angry, and all of us are growing to this point. I'm a work in progress. I have not made it there yet. I'm developing in this area, and I'm understanding that that's a tool that I can use, but it's a new tool that I just found out about. So I'm going to use it, and I'm going to share, with you guys my results, and how it works. And I'm sure it will work, and some days it will work better than others, because we have free wills. Even if the ancestors are nudging you, telling you to do something, and pushing you in a direction, and sitting on you, and shoving you, and agitating you, or whatever it is that they're doing to cause you to make a choice. Some of us are so set in our ways that we won't, even if we see the benefit of going in another direction. We're set in our ways. We are comfortable and uncomfortable at the same time, being in the place that we've been. And so, although there's a desire to grow and to move, there's a complacency in the comfort of what has always been. And what, I'm sorry, guys, you know what it is. I didn't put anything on my face after I got out of the shower, and it probably just dried my face out a little bit. But guys, there's a, like I said, there's a complacency and a comfortability in the complacency with where we are, and the desire to move and to grow is not enough. Will you invest in yourself? Um, I'm excited about, as I always say, connecting with you guys one on one, so that I can assist and support. Yes, I'm doing my own work. Yes, I'm doing my own growing. But as I've stated at the beginning of this video, if I've made time to speak with you, if I've set aside time to talk to you and to pour into you, I have opportunity for you to be able to make some adjustments, and to have conversations, and to have sessions to work towards tangible goals. Like, we have goals in our head, but we don't have practical steps written down to get us to those goals. And a lot of times you can have all kinds of goals in your heads, but if you don't write anything down, if you don't write out a specific plan to get things done, it'll just be looming in your head for 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10. And sometimes, people like me may do the research, may look into it, do a couple of looks into it, write some notes down, and put it on the back burner and never get back to it. And so this is the time, and this is the year, and the catalyst to change your own life, and to take stock in your own life, and to utilize the tools that are available to you, and stop sitting on who you are, how you are, what you can bring to the table. This world needs your gifts. You sitting on them and doing something that is not even relatively who you are is counterproductive, even if it does bring you resources. Money is a resource, but are you just burning your resources by consuming, or having too many bills and too many things to where you can't even save, you can't even invest, you can't make investments in self development, you can't make any modifications? We need work. We need work. And we need to not be controlled by others. My prayer to my ancestors a few weeks ago was for them to help me to not be controlled by anybody else's emotions, or anybody else's attitude or anyone else's, what is the word I want to use? Energy. That's the word I want to use. And, because you can be in a good space and someone comes into the room with bad energy. If you're not careful, they'll disrupt your being. And so I was given some tools, a couple of these students, and I love it. And I am grateful for it. I'll put a link down in the description box for those that want to um, learn more about communicating with their ancestors and making that connection. And I, the light bulb went off, when there was conversation saying that, you can ask for assistance in that area so you don't have to continue to be disrupted. You can have a peaceful way of being, even if there's chaos going around you, and not a mask of I'm okay, but I'm not. And we'll talk about that in the next video, taking that mask off and just being vulnerable. Most of us can't even be vulnerable with ourselves. So it's definitely and be honest with ourselves about our shortcomings and the things that we're great at, the great people that we are. We are Africans, we are phenomenal people, we are brilliant, we are intellectual, we are intelligent. But what do you use all those things for that is beneficial to your community, that is even beneficial to your household, more than just bringing in a paycheck? How many conversations do you have with your children where you're bonding with them, where you're giving them knowledge that you didn't have? Yeah, they may have a space that you didn't have. Guys, I gotta go. I hear the baby in the background, and so I may pop in tomorrow. I apologize. I have to cut this video short, but my baby is crying, and so I have to go. I love you guys. Thank you again. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Reach out for a session. Love you. Have a wonderful day.